Alrighty, it's 3 minutes past the hour. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Can we get an official note taker for today? Oh, goodness. No? I can try and take notes while we go along. Okay, next up, do we have any new faces? I don't think I see any new faces. Okay, let's get into outstanding RFCs, starting from the bottom, working our way up. Propose that we move YJ from the stack. I think that this has been an FCP for a couple of weeks and is ready to be closed whenever stacks maintainers feel that it's appropriate. Sophie, do you have any other questions about this? All right, cool. Just hadn't had the time to merge RFCs. Okay. In that case, then we will move on because I think that this is effectively standing approved. It just needs approval from stack maintainers. Next up, we have decoupled dependencies from Buildpacks. I'm sorry I was out last week. Yeah, I haven't had a ton of time to work on this, but I also haven't seen anything huge. I need to go back and just give all of these comments a quick reread, make sure that I've actually addressed everything. So I will hopefully be able to get to do that next week. Been a little busy. Any questions here? Awesome. Multi-arch build packs. Jericho. Hey there. Do you have any requests or any questions for the group?
Yeah, no, I just think it would be great to get some input from steering committee on how they want to move forward, et cetera. Or if there's anything that I need to be adding to the RFC.
Yeah. Okay. I will take a look at this. And I'll ask Dan McCuza to take another look at this. Unfortunately, Rob is currently moving and will not be back until like June 20th at the earliest. So any feedback that you would want from him or need addressed from him, we'll have to wait until then. But I don't know that any of his stuff is blocking. So we could probably continue to move forward with that in the meantime. But I'll take a look and I'll ping Dan to take a look at this.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah. And then finally, add Bionic end of support RFC. This is done. And it's approved by everyone that it should be approved by. Just have not had the chance to go in and just merge this and do the minutia that is required for that. So I will get that done hopefully this afternoon. Had a couple people join since we started, so I will just pull up this screen and ask if there is any comments that people would like to make on any of the open RFCs currently. No, seems like a pretty straightforward week then.
Hey, I just wanted to ask actually about the proposal to publish multi-arch build packs. So it's number 268. Was there any progress recently on that topic? I haven't looked at it myself closely. I guess this question is for you, Jericho.
sorry, progress in terms of like me creating some more like test cases, or like what are we looking for?
I guess you started creating POC builders, I think. So yeah, just
Yes. Yeah, I have a builder. The only thing I don't have is I haven't gone through and like used it to create multi-arch build packs. So yeah, I mean, I haven't made any progress on that front. And I was hoping to get some more input from the steering committee on, if that's valuable. If that is valuable and that's what's going to help to drive the conversation and move it forward, I can do that. I don't know if that's what I should be doing.
One of the questions that I have about this is, would this track of work be facilitated by the stack removal RFC? Currently, I don't know that we have a way of testing the stack's architecture in a way that wouldn't be just, like shelling out to the stack and go, which we could absolutely do, right? But like, I think that stack removal will have the architecture baked in natively in C and B environment variables. I guess I don't know how you would call that out in particular in this RFC and whether or not it matters. So maybe it doesn't matter for this RFC note. I'm saying it out loud.
I mean, I tried to address the problem is that like if you kind of go 100% stack removal, I mean, maybe you just don't want to support anybody who's potentially still using the stacks. Like it's going to be hard to do backward compatibility if you assume somebody's using a new version of Pack, but maybe that's fine. You're just going to say you have to use a new version of Pack. We expect people to be using the latest and greatest. There's just going to be the potential where somebody's using an old version of Pack in their CI/CD pipeline. I'm guilty of it. And they're not upgrading and they're not going to get the benefits of the new like life cycle or whatever. They might be pinning things. I think that's the issue there.
Would older versions of packs do current versions of packs support ARM64 building?
In theory, no. Well, yes, if you have your builder, like Pack doesn't really care.
Okay,
on the architecture, yes. Like you just
and
need to use
they
builders.
release ARM64 binaries that you could.
They do, but there have been some issues. So actually, part of what I was doing when I started doing this research was creating a builder, but I found that there's some bugs that need to be fixed, and I've been working with the upstream Pack community on that. I have not gone back and tested it. They've actually done a bunch of PRs and possibly addressed some of those issues. So yeah, like initially I was going to go down the let's make some multi-arch build packs, and then I started going down that I need the builders in order to test them. So I already have the builders, they work, but when I created them, it was a very hacky process. So I could actually test all of the stuff that I talk about in this RFC at this point. So I think that's probably, let's see what Anthony's talking about, where like I haven't created any like tests, but there's another user in the community that has, created multi-arch Paketo build packs. I haven't tested those, so they probably won't work with my builder because it's actually it might work with my builder. It's a very simple like jammy builder. So if the build packs are downloading Java and doing all that stuff, then it probably would work. So I could do some testing with that. I haven't had a chance to do it. But if that is valuable, I can do that.
I believe so. I believe it will be available. I guess with regard to the people doing that in the community, I know of Daniel Mikusa and then Dashon Carter. They have publicized, but I remember there was someone else also. Anyway, yeah, there are definitely multiple tentatives. I mean, non-official tentative, and yours actually is the only official one I know about. So, but
Yeah, I mean, I'll look into using Darshan's stuff because I think that he's kind of done the work of like proof of concept kind of like work, but it's, you know, it's a little bit hacky. And obviously what we're trying to do is just build this into the tool as a first-class citizen versus an afterthought.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, this is much more difficult to make it, official and maintainable, and like you say, first-class support.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess my 2 cents is I think that separating that from stack removal is, I think there's value in doing that because you can have your, like, ultimately, there's going to be some environment variables passed in to your build packs in the future from the CNB. Like when you create your builders, it's supposed to, pass in those target OS. I can't remember what they are, but you're supposed to get those environment variables. So if you can just update the build packs logic to kind of read those, and if they don't exist, put them in there based on Go OS, then you kind of like solve the problem. And then when you kind of separate the stack removal part, in my opinion, but again, the steering committee is going to have to decide if that's the approach they want to take. So yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks.
Any other questions on this? I unfortunately, Jericho, for you, do not have the deepest opinions on multi-architecture build packs, so I don't know that I have the best feedback, but I will talk to Dan, who I think has much deeper opinions than I.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, any other questions? Great. We can move on to CNB updates and questions. I believe that a new lifecycle version just went live like a couple of hours ago, 0.17.0. I have no idea what it does. So I will link that in, or maybe just the milestone has been hit. I will double check that and I will update it after this meeting. But I believe it would be in the announcements of the CNP Slack. Project updates. I don't think that we have any major project updates. I think that we are targeting a jam release that will include stuff for extensions, I believe is the big thing that was in there and merged this morning. Is that correct, Sophie? Is it extensions that I'm thinking of? And then hopefully we will get a release of Occam out that will be supporting those new jam extension endings. Which I think all of the people that are working on extensions are not here right now, so we'll have to ping them.
Costas is working on.
Oh, you're working on extensions. Excuse me.
Yeah. Thanks for the suggestions and the support on the PR. And also, Michael, apologies for not joining today. He has too many meetings, so
it's all good. I was rapidly looking around for Michael. I'm sorry I missed you.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, I'm always silent, so thanks.
So hopefully that will be released today. I'm planning on aiming for it this afternoon.
Great news. Thank you.
Yeah. Next up I don't have any other project updates. Are there any other project updates that people have? Nope. All right. Then next up, we have an open mic question / discussion from Ram. And it is
Hey,
Paketo as a
everyone.
platform live stream. Ooh, sorry.
Yeah, just a bit of a promo there. So on Friday, we have Ege. I think I'm saying the name right. I have to confirm. So I met the ING Bank team at KubeCon EU, and they had a small presentation / demo at their booth about how they were using Paketo to build their internally used data analytics platform. So they were doing like a bunch of very interesting stuff around Jupyter Notebook Buildpacks and so many other things that I hadn't imagined they would use Paketo for. They had posted about this on the Paketo Slack, I believe. I wasn't able to get the full presentation because of booth duty and other things, but I reached out to them after, and Ege was kind enough to sort of volunteer to repeat that presentation for the community. So we're going to get an inside view about how the folks at ING are making use of Paketo to build a platform and basically showcase how they're consuming Paketo Buildpacks. So I thought it'd be interesting to let folks here know if people could participate, spread the word, or help out in any other way. It's much appreciated.
That's great. I would love to talk to you at some point after this and see if there is a contact inside of ING that we can talk to, because it sounds like they would be a really great user for our Python maintainers to reach out to, because it kind of sounds like that's what they're doing a lot of work in. And if they've been happy with stuff that we're doing in our Python build pack, that'd be great to hear. And if there's stuff that's annoying them, that would also be really great to hear.
Sure. Yeah, I can follow up with someone and get that information. There's actually a couple of people who reached out at some point. So
Okay. In that case, then maybe the Python maintainers are aware of ING and I just was not. I will reach out to them and let them know that they should be on the lookout, though. Yeah, and any contact information would be very much appreciated.
yeah, sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much for letting us know about this. Are there any other open mic questions / discussion topics that people would like to bring up for this week? Hold on. If not, I don't see any reason in keeping people here longer than they have to be. So have a great day, y'all.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.